Hello there everyone, welcome back to Glue Sniff Garage, and this is the first part of the Revell Mandalorian Razor Crest build series. In this video we'll be taking a look at the kit, taking a look at the fit and finish of everything, doing a bit of painting and assembly, and putting down some decals. So I'd like to say a big thanks again to Lee at Ultimate Modelling Products for kindly sending me this kit to try, and a nice little care package of all the UMP products that I'm getting to use on the build. So go back in my channel and see if you can find the video and give that a wee watch just to see some of the stuff that I'll be using. So if you follow me on Instagram or on YouTube or anything, you know that I'm primarily a car builder, so this is my first sci-fi kit. So I might get things wrong. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, so apologies if I'm not doing it the right way, but it's the way that I'm kind of figuring things out. So anyway, we'll get started with this, get some stuff off the sprues. Okay, so I've got everything off the sprues, and I'm just going to do a little bit of test fitting. So I've done the two engines, just taped them together just to see how everything's going. There's nothing too major. Obviously you're going to have the engines are in two parts, two halves. So you're going to have a line going down the outside here, which I think would look fine, just because of how many panel lines and stuff are on the ship. And you could fill them in with putty. Might be quite difficult. You'd need to rescribe a lot of the stuff if you were filling in putty all the way along here. There's just one little bit of flash there, just right here along this flat edge. So need to clean that up. But yeah, the actual engines go together quite well. So then the next bit we've got here, obviously the main hull of the ship, and the interior's like, it's very detailed. It's just a shame that once everything goes together, none of it will be visible. You'll be able to see some stuff in through the doors, but you're going to be hiding a lot of stuff in here. So the base goes in like this, and you've got the two walls at either side which slide in here, and there's another wall either side there, so you can see there's a fair bit going on in here. But unfortunately, when you take the next section, which is got quite a nice bit of detailing on the roof there, but then this goes in like so, and it's gone, covered up. So you can see a bit in the back there, but yeah, majority of it will be hidden. So I've also got the top part here. Now there's one kind of thing I've noticed, which is in the underside of the wings, if you can call them wings, when these go in place, why is this not fitting in? So you put them in the locating spots there, press down. There's a bit of a gap along here, which I don't think should be there, so I don't know if that means that these locating points are too tall and need to be taken back a bit, or if I should just go along with some putty and just fill that gap. I'm not really sure. I'll need to have a look at the photos of the ship to see if there is a sort of line across the tip of this wing here, but I'll check that out before I make any decisions on what I'm going to do, because it's the same on the other side. As you can see, the camera would focus. There we go. A slight gap. It's not huge, but I think it probably could be doing getting filled in. But I'll have to have a look at some reference photos. I'll need to actually go back and watch the show again, because I've been struggling to find like good reference photos that are actually from the show and not artwork or variations on this model or other models. So yeah, we've got the top section there. There's also on the bottom of the main hull, you get these parts that go on. I've already put on a couple of them there, so they fit on either side, and then you've got a bottom section here as well. And then obviously this will fit on top. There's one thing I did notice with the hull, the main part of the hull, there's this kind of step in the moulding there. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There's just a slight kind of line here where one side's just a hair higher up than the other side, which then leads to this gap under the window. Again, that might be do a little bit of sanding or something just to try and close that gap up. This bit, you would need to rescribe these lines to get it to go straight across if it bothered you. We'll need to do a little bit of sanding in there just to get rid of that mould line. It's not as pronounced on the opposite side, but it is there. It shouldn't take too much to clean it up and sort that out. So 2 engines mount either side here. This. Yeah, it's a big old ship. So that's as much test fit as I'm going to do at the moment. I just want to make sure that all the bodywork pieces are fitting together properly. Couple of little things that I would like to do just to make sure everything looks okay, like these sections under the wings, these 2 gaps I might fill in with some putty. I'm going to go and have a look at some reference photos just to make sure that I'm not filling it up with putty, and there should be a line there. There's also, let's say, there's not a lot of flash or anything on the kit. There's a slight mould line along the edges of this the top section. Just very, very slight, nothing major. But I'm going to be take all this apart again. I need to clean up my sprue connection points, which I'll be doing with the UMP sanding sticks and thinny sticks, and I'll be using that to take off the mould lines. So I'll go and make a start on that. I'm hoping to get this in paint today, possibly might be after the weekend. I would ideally like to have it, the body sections in primer at least, but I've got a busy afternoon this afternoon, so it's if I've got the time to squeeze it in. But if I'm going to be doing putty work and stuff, it will be after the weekend, so I'll probably pick this up again on Monday or Tuesday as I'm working. Whoops, I'm working all weekend and won't really get the time to do it. But yeah, so pick this up later and we'll see where I'm at with it. So just using the UMP sanding sticks at the moment. This is the 400 grit and 800 on the other side, and it's just taking those mould lines and the sprue connection points clean off. So I'm going to continue doing this. I'm sure you don't want to just sit watching me sanding away at the kit. So we'll pick this up once everything's ready for paint, and we'll get the body in gloss black like I said and take it from there. So we'll catch you up when we're ready to get some primer on this. Right, so I've got all the parts all ready for paint, got all the bits sanded off, all the mould lines and stuff removed using my UMP sanding sticks and thinning sticks. So we've got the UMP gloss black and the regular black primer. So I'm going to start airbrushing now. So I've got everything all ready like I said. The way my booth isn't that big, and I'm really struggling to kind of get the whole body of the ship in frame while I'm painting. So I'm actually going to start off by, I'm just going to record some of these sort of smaller parts. So what my plan is to do the black primer first, just the regular black primer, then a couple of coats of this, and then we'll do a couple of coats of the gloss black so we get that nice gloss finish, ready for the metallic to go over the top of it. So I'll switch on my spray booth and my compressor, and I'll start a little kind of time-lapse thing, just so you're not having to listen to the noise of the fans going. So I'll go and get that set up, and we'll be back in a wee second. Right, so I've got everything in the UMP black primer. You can see it's nice and smooth, but I've got another couple of coats to do on everything with the gloss black to give it that glossy look, so that we can put our stainless steel colour over the top of it and it'll have a nice shine to it. So get this in the airbrush and we'll get started. Couple of coats of the regular UMP black and then a couple of coats of the gloss black. So we've got a gloss black finish now to all the parts, which means that we're ready to start spraying our colour, and I'm going to go with the Mr. Colour Super Metallic 2, the Super Stainless. I really like the Super Metallics for Mr. Colour, really realistic looking metallic colours. I'll be thinning that with Mr. Leveling Thinner, which I think is one of the better thinners for doing your clear coats when you're using lacquers. It's got the self-leveling properties and it always gives me a really nice finish with my clear coats. So I'll be using that to thin this, and also the clear coat when I come to do that. Bit of a spill there, I've got paint all over my hands, so you need to excuse that. But yeah, I'll get this all set up. Another wee time lapse. All the parts have had about an hour to dry, so they should be good to start painting over. So get this set up and we'll do another wee time lapse of me spraying everything with the Super Metallic. Okay, so that's everything in the Mr. Colour Super Stainless Steel 2, and there's a really nice metallic finish to it. I really like like I said before, the Mr. Colour Super Metallics. They always give a really nice finish. So next up will be the decals. We'll get the decals on, and then after that we'll do a clear coat over the top of the decals just to protect them, so that we can do the weathering over the top and it won't affect the decals. And yeah, we'll take it from there, and I'll see you in a wee second and we'll make a restart on the decals. So I've got everything ready for the decals now. I was going to do a clear coat over the model first and then do the decals, but I've decided just to go ahead, get the decals on, then clear coat over the top of them so we can start doing some weathering and stuff and panel lining and things like that on the model. So just go over what I've got out for doing these decals. I've obviously got the model here, the decals themselves, pair of scissors, a couple of brushes, pair of tweezers. I've also got the UMP decal solutions, and some cotton buds and a bowl of warm water. Also, you'll need your instructions for the callouts to see where the decals are going. So I'll start off, I'll get the decals cut out, and we'll take it for there. Just a quick little aside before we start the decals. So earlier in the video I was saying I was going to fill in these panel lines here where the bottom section of the wing meets the top half. I've had a look at some photos and there is a line there on the actual ship. Obviously the only issue was it was sitting really low and there was a massive gap here, so I forgot to film this part, but if you can kind of see in the gap in there, there's a few pegs along in here, like connecting pegs, that were too tall, so I just sanded them down a bit, and after they were sanded down it fitted nice and flush. So it's just a wee tip if you're building this kit, just watch out for that. It's literally a 2-minute job, sanded down the pegs slightly and fits perfectly. Right, so I've got the first decal off. I'll just do a sort of demonstration on the one decal. You don't need to sit and watch me do every single decal on the ship. So this is decal number 3 and it sits along the side of the ship here, just over the top of the doors. So basically what I'll do first is just place the decal in some warm water just for a few seconds, just until it's fully soaked. And just give that a little minute. And then just place it in some paper towel. Right guys, sorry for the interruption, just a little side note here before we continue with the video. In the next part you'll see me brushing on the UMP normal decal solution. This is the first time that I've tried the UMP decal solutions and I kinda did it a bit wrong. So I did it as if I was using other decal solutions, where I would brush on the setting solution onto the model in the area where the decal was to go, place the decal on and do it like that. The UMP decal solutions are slightly stronger and they don't really work in the same way, so don't brush it on like you see me doing in the next part of the video. You'll also see why when I'm trying to reposition the decal when it sticks to my finger, and that's because the UMP solution has started softening the decal, and instead of conforming to the model it conforms to my finger. So don't do what I do here with the brushing it on, but just work your way through, put it on with water as normal, position your decal, work it in with a cotton bud, and then start using your decal solutions. Start with your normal, wait 30 minutes, use your strong, wait 30 minutes, and then use your ultra strong if needed. And stick around just at the end of the video and you can see how the decal's settled. So sorry about that, back to the video. So we'll get this brushed on over this whole area. And now the decal should be ready to come off the paper. Just try to adjust it. So the only bit you can really line up, there's an angle here at the top of the door. So I'm just aiming to have that lined up, and then the rest should sort of fall into place. So over. It seems to have it sat slightly higher. Excuse me. Happy with where that's sitting now. I'm just going to get a cotton bud and just sort of work out any creases, get out any liquid, any water from underneath it. Don't use your finger when you're moving your decals. Yeah, I'll try again. I'm just going to wet the cotton bud. Right, so next I'm going to hit it with some the UMP Strong. I think to do is just try not to use the same brush for like your different decal solutions. So I've got a second brush here, so I'm going to hit it with the UMP Strong decal solution, and it will help it sort of bed down better onto the model. Right, now I think what we'll do now is once I've applied that, I'm going to leave it sitting for a few minutes just to see how it settles down. I might need to go to the extra strength stuff, and also I might need to get the hair dryer out, but we'll see how it settles down. It's just this one kind of little tricky bit. There's a little vent here that it has to go around, and it's not really going down very well over that just now, but we'll see what happens with the setting solution. Just give it a few minutes and come back and see how we got on. Right, so the extra strong took a few minutes to work, and it's settled down a wee bit, still a bit tricky around this vent, and there's a little bit up at the top here that needs a bit of work. So I'm going to hit this with the extra strong and again leave it for a few minutes and see what happens. I have to apologise for this fan noise in the background. I've got my 3D printer running at the moment, and I didn't realise how loud it was. I really want to try and get the decal to bed right down into all the panel lines, so that when I go to do my weathering and panel lining, it will really show up against the yellow in the decal. Right, so I'll leave that again for a few minutes and we'll see what happens. Right, so I've given the extra strong a few minutes just to do its thing, and I've went over it with a cotton bud in a couple of the trickier places, and it's done a great job. I don't think that I need to do the hairdryer. It's settled down into the panel lines quite well. It's worked. So I've managed to work around about this vent here. Everything's nice and flat. We've got no bubbles. It's got that almost painted on look, which is what you're wanting to achieve when you're doing your decals. There was quite a bit of carrier film on this, but it wasn't too bad. Once it was on, you can't really see it. So I think I'll do the rest of the decals on the bodywork of this, and then it'll be clear coat after that to seal everything in, and then weathering. But I think for this video that's probably plenty to fill this video, so I think we'll stop here. This will be the end of the video, and we'll pick this up in the next video where I'll be making a start on the interior. So next video will be interior, cockpit, etc., getting it painted and assembled and the clear coat on this, and then the third video will be the weathering and final assembly. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Keep your eye out for the next part, which will be coming up next week, and I'll catch you later. Cheers, bye. Right, so just a little add-on just to show you how the decals have settled down. As you can see, they are into the panel lines and stuff. Couple of little tricky bits, but the extra strong UMP stuff did work really well. I just did it the wrong way, and I know for future builds that I should be putting the normal stuff on first and sort of working my way up. Don't put it on the model first, like I did, and actually use it the proper way. So yeah, really happy with how they turned out, and yep, the next video will be doing the interior and getting that all put together and the landing gear. So I'll see you in the next video, guys. It'll be coming soon, the next week or so, and I'll catch you then. Cheers, bye.